Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Be a Happy Hero podcast with me, Danny. So today I'm going to discuss something that has actually been on my mind the last couple of days. And that has to do with your dreams, reaching your dreams, and why you do your dreams or why you're following them. What is it that you tell yourself? So the whole thing started because I was having a conversation earlier this week and with a fellow musician, and he told me that the reason that he does what he does is because he wants to become famous at some point and make enough money so he can take care of his family and he can give his family everything that they want and just really take good care of them financially. Which is fine. The thing is, and the problem is, he's been struggling for a while to try to get anywhere really with what he's doing. And I asked him if that's the only reason. And he said, yeah, the reason is my family. I want to do good by them. So my question to him was, well, why don't you just get a job? A real job, let's say. Sorry to say that. I mean, I'm a musician too, but a job that brings in money, let's say, a job that has a steady salary where you're making money every month. He said, no, I don't want to do that. That's not what I do. That's not what I am. That's not who I am. I said, yeah, but you said that you want to do this for your family. And he said, yes, of course I want to do it for my family. I said, well, you can get any job and do really good, do really well in this job, make good money, and then do that for your family. So you don't need to try to be a famous musician to do that. So now really, who are you doing this for? Are you really doing it for your family? Or are you doing it for yourself? And that made him think a bit because he did want to do it for himself. But here's the trick and here's the kicker. And this is, I think, what gets a lot of people when they're working on achieving their dreams. They get to a point where they think it is selfish for them to say, I'm doing it for me. This is for me and for me only. I understand that if you have a family, it is important to take care of your family, whether that's you're married and have children or your parents or whatever. But the point is that at the end of the day, those are your dreams and those dreams should be fulfilled for you first, before anybody else. So it sounds selfish, and in a way it is, but it's a good selfish. And the reason for it is because if you're doing something for somebody else, you're not going to have the same drive and hunger that you had when you started. When you started out, when you were young, it was all about you. You had nobody else. You weren't responsible for anybody. You had this hunger and you chased that dream and you chased that dream and years went by and it was still not there. And then you started a family and then things changed. And you wanted to continue, and luckily your partner allowed you to continue following your dream, but it just wasn't clicking. And your mindset switched and your mindset became one of these things of doing it for the family. And I understand this because I went through the same thing a couple years back, and actually I got out of this mindset probably about a year ago. And the thing is, where I was, and I think where most people are with this, is that for them it's like a good excuse to continue. Let's say they can't find an excuse that's good enough for their partner. Let's say in my case was I couldn't find an excuse good enough because things weren't really happening musically. There weren't really sales happening. The streaming numbers were really low, so there really wasn't money coming in. I wasn't playing out live, so there was no real money coming from music. So for me to justify doing that any longer, I guess I needed to justify it to myself. And that is the excuse I used. I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing it for my family. When I get there, I'm going to be able to support my family the way I want to support them, doing what I love. And that's what it is, doing what you love. So at the end, you're not doing it really for them. You're doing it for you. The whole thing was, I was doing it for me. When I realized that I needed to be doing this for me and not for anybody else. And I had to stop worrying about what anybody else thought or what anybody else said, and not worry about any of that, because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is me. The only person I have to answer to is myself. And you have to do things as long as you need to do them. For some people, that's a couple of years, and then they decide that it's over. They don't want to continue. They're tired of it. They're done with it. They tried. It didn't work out. Cool. I'm moving on. For other people, it takes a lot longer. For me, I've been playing music since I was in my teens. I am 46 right now. You do the math. I have no plans of stopping, because, as I've said in many other videos before, I'm in love with the process. I love making music. So for me, it's an ongoing thing. Now, do I want to get paid for what I'm doing? Yes, of course I want to get paid for what I'm doing. And it would be great to be able to get to a point where the music, the money I make from that, is enough for me to live the life that I want at the standard, with the standards, or at the level that I want it to be. But that is starting to happen for me, slowly but surely. But the reason it happened is because I realized that I had to do it for me. And I had to make some compromises when it came to money for family, for all this, because I have to support my family. So I can't just say, no, I'm going to be a full-time musician making not much and the family has to deal with it. No, I want to give my family a good life, then I'm going to give it to them. And if that means that I have to work a different job to do that, and work my music at night or early in the morning or whatever that is, then so be it, until it happens. But you have to realize that that thing, you're doing it for yourself. You're not doing it for them, because they're going to be proud of you no matter what you do that you're successful at. But you're not going to be proud of yourself if you don't accomplish what you want to accomplish. So I think that pride for yourself also comes with not achieving your dream, but trying hard. If you did everything that you could have, and you're pretty sure you did everything you could, and it's just not in the cards for you, maybe you're not good enough for it. That is a possibility. Not just, I know that everybody tells you you can do anything you set your mind to, and that is true, but there is a point where you're just not good enough to do something. And that is the point where you have to decide, well, what do I have to do to be good enough? Or do I just want to stop there and do something else because I'm done? So for me, it's always, well, then I have to be better. Those songs sound good, but they don't sound as good as what's now popping on the radio. Well, then my production has to be better. So I'm going to learn how to make that better. So for me, it's a constant process of learning and doing. And it's what it has to be. But it's very clear to me at this point that I'm doing this for me. And the result of me getting to a level where I'm happy and where I can make music full time and not have to rely on another job, then my family will see that too. They will benefit from what comes from it. But at the end, it's not really for them that I'm doing it, it's for me, because when I'm happy doing what I'm doing, then I'm going to make them happy. I'm going to be able to give them the things I want to give them, and they're going to have a happy person in the house with them. Because if I'm not doing what I'm doing, I swear, if I weren't making music right now, I would be very depressed. I would not be a happy person. I would not be nice to be around. So I wouldn't make a good family man. I wouldn't make a good anything, probably. I probably wouldn't be a good doorstopper. So the idea is you have to make sure that you are moving forward in your dreams and going and not worrying about what anybody else is telling you. But you also have to be considerate to the people around you, that if they depend on you, you can't turn your back on them because this is my dream and I'm going to go until my dream is there. That's not what I mean. I mean that you have to stop using them as your excuse for continuing your dream. You're continuing your dream because you want to, because it fulfills you. And you need to tell that to yourself, and you need to be honest with yourself, so that way you know where you stand and if you're finished. because maybe you're finished and you're just using that excuse just to hang on a little bit longer. But maybe it's done. Could be. Maybe not. Like I said, I don't know, because for me it's not over, but it could be for other people. I know other people that have stopped, that have quit the music industry and are super happy doing other things right now. And they never looked back because they tried their asses off. They did everything that they could do to get there. So that's basically the message that I want to give you guys today. It's just that. Make sure that you are honest with yourself, that you tell yourself why you want to do things, and make sure that that really is the reason. And don't be ashamed of being selfish. Don't be ashamed of wanting to do things for you. Doing things for you is the first thing that you should take care of. It, like I've said before, it begins with you and it ends with you. So if you are not happy, you cannot make other people happy, period. So you have to make yourself happy. Do the things that really fulfill you. And that way, you're going to make those around you happy at the same time. And trust me, if you're doing what you love and you don't worry about it, you're not playing the numbers game, you're going to make the money that you need for this, because that's how it works. You just have to believe in yourself, you have to believe in your dream, and you just have to do the work. And most importantly, you have to love the process of what you're doing. If all you're looking for is an end result, you're not going to enjoy it, really, because there is no such thing as an overnight success. Overnight successes, as Jeff Bezos once said, take 10 years. And the other ones are not overnight successes. Some take 15, 20, 25 years to happen. So I'm on the cusp. So mine is going to happen any day now. But even if it doesn't, I'm moving forward because I love what I'm doing. And I'm confident that it will. I think honestly, after all this time, if I didn't really truly believe that I was going to get to the level that I want to get to musically, I would have probably stopped doing it a long time ago. I'd probably be a frustrated musician at this point, but I'm not. I'm happy. I enjoy what I do. I know I'm on the right track. I have a great plan. I've learned a lot from the different projects I've done, different bands I've been in, the different things I've done. I've learned so much that I've been able to really put all that together and have a much better path, let's say, forward to doing what I want, because I know exactly what I want. So I'm not doing a lot of stuff that I don't need to do, let's say. And that's another part of it. You really need to study. You need to learn. And I don't mean school. I mean educate yourself on what you do in every single aspect of it. For me, is not just on playing guitar, writing songs and singing. And it's also about the production. It's also about how to market a musical artist in today's world, in today's 2020 pandemic world, with, all this social media and how to do that on social media, how to get your numbers up, how to get your streaming numbers up, actually is what I mean. And all this, and can you sell records? And if so, how and where? And all these things, they're things that you just learn along the way, and they're all parts of what I need to know. If I only know one aspect of that, then I need to make sure I partner up with somebody that can take care of the rest. Otherwise, you need to do them. You need to take care of your web design, maybe. You need to take care of graphic design. A lot of things that you need to cover before you go in. But if you're willing to go that route because you love what you're doing and because you love that dream of yours and you want to accomplish it, then by all means go for it. But make sure that you're doing it for you and not for anybody else, because you are the one that's going to have to live with that. So I hope I've shed some light on this topic for you guys, and that some of the advice I've given helps moving forward for you. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys again here next week with another episode of the Be a Happy Hero podcast. Bye.